morning, everyone. Let me make sure I can see your comments. Let me know you are with me. Who's with me? Good morning, Markel Daniel. Thanks for joining me. And you can hear me just fine, I hope. Sounds like you can because you told me good morning. So wonderful. Good morning, everyone. I see people are joining in. Hey, welcome to another Tea Time Tuesday. So glad you can join me. I always look forward to these. I look forward to hearing from you, your comments, just having a conversation together. Hola, good morning, my wonderful husband, Ron. And I'm just not here. Again, I always say, I'm not here to just hear my voice. I want to have a conversation with you. And that's what we're here to do. So thank you for joining me. Let me know what you have. I have my tea with me, a little almond matcha. Let me know if you have water, your morning smoothie, whatever you're drinking, let me know. I always love to know what everyone's drinking. So Tea Time Tuesday. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Good morning. Oh, morning, Mark. Thanks for joining. Welcoming all the legacy builders in the house. All right, so today we are talking about we're talking about competence. Thank you, Ron. You have your green smoothie. I have mine waiting for me too. Love to see it. Excuse me, let me clear this throat of mine. I always have to fight my morning voice. My voice doesn't become clear till around 10 o'clock, so that's how it is. Good morning, Gabrielle. All right, let's get started. Let's jump into it as we welcome everyone in, saying good morning. And what we're drinking, Bohemian Breakfast. Ooh, one of my favorites. Yes, Mark and I, we know about that good, our secret tea. I share it with anyone who asks, but it's our favorite tea. Good morning, friend. Finally caught it live. Yay! Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, ladies. So glad you can catch me live today. We are just getting into it. So if you saw my post, saw email, I sent that out. We're going to have a conversation today about understanding the 4 stages of competence. Now, this is something I learned a few years back, honestly, through my mentor in my head, Bob Proctor. And there's actually, a lot more to it. There's a lot to it than what I first learned about through him. And it really is about, for most people in the workforce, it really is about how the levels in which we're developing a skill. And I think there's various ways that it is used in trainings, but no matter how it's used, there are basically these 4 levels of competence. So before I get into the heart of what we're talking about, I will go through the 4 levels of competence. Hello, Francesca, drinking Chlora fresh water? Okay, ma'am, good. I see you. Fran, water? Okay, water is the drink of the day. Little tea water for me. Michelle, okay. I'm loving all the water that is happening. Morning, Monique. Thank you for joining me. So these levels of competence, let's go through them. So the first level, the first stage or level of competence is unconscious incompetence. So that is the beginning level. So let's say we're developing a skill, let's say financial literacy, okay? We're developing a skill of financial literacy. We all start, no matter what age, we all start in this place, and that is the level of ignorance. We don't know that the skill that we don't know what we don't know is really what it is. You don't know the skill level. You don't know what's needed. You may not even be aware that you don't know. There may be this lack of awareness, especially if you're young. If you're a child, you're young, you really don't know what you don't know. So there's this lack of awareness around the skill level. Now, obviously, there are other skills that we have to develop as we're adults that we're also not aware of. And even within financial literacy, there's just simply things that we don't know that we don't know. So when it comes to a particular skill that you are developing, we start in this level of ignorance, which is unconscious incompetence. So the next stage is conscious incompetence. So that is the level of awareness. That is that we are now aware of our incompetence. So basically we are aware that there's a knowledge that we do not have, there's understanding about a thing that we do not have that needs to be developed, and we are aware that, okay, and not only are we aware, but we see the value in developing that skill. So that is conscious incompetence. So we have unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence. So the next level where we move to is conscious competence. I say the words here. Conscious competence is our learning stage. This is where, okay, we've developed a certain amount of knowledge. We definitely have the awareness, and we're working and learning and developing this skill. But we're still at a place where we're growing in it. So you still have to concentrate, focus. Mistakes are being made, failures are had, which is good because you learn through mistakes, you learn through the failures. But this is that learning phase of conscious competence. And then the fourth stage is unconscious competence, which is the mastery stage. This is where we come in with you may have heard the 10,000 hour rule, where you've practiced a skill so much, you know it so well that it is now second nature. You barely have to think about it when you're doing it or when you're practicing it. It's so you do it so well that you're probably able to multitask. So you're able to do that skill and plus something else. Maybe do that thing and talk and have a conversation with someone, and you don't even think about messing up because you're so good at it. That's mastery. So that is the unconscious competence. So those are the 4 levels, and I think I'll probably type them out probably in the group a little later, so you can have those there. But if you got my email, it is in there. So unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. So I was thinking about these stages of competence came to mind the other day because I was just thinking about really what it takes to be a legacy leader. And I've always loved the teaching of these stages and really what it takes to develop the behaviors, develop the skills and the actions to get to where you want to go, and as I was thinking about this process, something clicked. There was something in this process that seemed a bit counterproductive. And even the mastery stage, the unconscious competence. Here you are a master at something. But as I was thinking about what it actually takes to be a legacy builder, a multi-generational legacy builder, there seemed to have been a disconnect for me. So that's why I wanted to bring this up for you today. And maybe we can work through this together, see if you come up with the same thing I come up with, okay? Good morning, Vivian. Thanks for joining. I hope you are drinking something good, and water included, because water is very good. So as I talk about conscious competence, it is so important as we in this group, because we're legacy builders, and the whole point of this group is really about building a legacy and cultivating an environment so that we can develop multi-generational legacies. That's what we're here to do. Not just one generation. I always love, the Bible scripture that says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. I like that because it doesn't say it leaves an inheritance for his children, but his children's children. So there's already a legacy mindset there. There's this thing that's like, oh no, we're already thinking past this next generation here. So that's us here. We're thinking not just us, not just our children, but our children's children. So that puts us in a really good place mindset-wise. But what does it take to do that? what does it actually take to move forward in preparing to leave a legacy for your children's children? Again, that's what this group is about. These are the conversations we're having. So I was thinking about what it takes in doing that to be a legacy leader. It takes leadership. There's a place of leadership that is required, a stance within your legacy leadership that says that I am guiding, I am helping, I am building. Now let's go back to unconscious competence. Remember I mentioned second nature. It's something you do without even thinking about it. It's unconscious. And I'll give you an example. And Mark, I'm going to use you because I've talked about Mark before. If you don't call you Mark, obviously he's the co-founder of Legacy Builder Group and also one of the facilitators in this group. And I've talked about Mark in the fact that he's a cyclist. Mark rides, he does the road cycling, he does dirt bikes. Mark's crazy to me, okay? Mark goes 100 miles, 100 million miles on the road. Okay, I'm exaggerating. But Mark goes like miles and miles. He can cycle on the road. And then he'll jump on his dirt bike and do all these crazy things in the forest and all these patches of dirt. And he has fun with it. Now, Mark is what I would consider an unconscious competence. Competent when it comes to cycling, the skill of cycling. He doesn't jump on his bike and think, okay, all right, let me make sure I pedal. Okay, let me remember what to do first, put on my shoes, and then, okay, make sure. When he gets on that bike, he's often, especially the road bike, he's often shared with me about just how free it is, how his mind is able to think about things and how he's able to enjoy the beautiful sceneries that he gets to see. And he's in a place where he's just going. He's just going. Again, he's not thinking about the mechanics of the bike. Of course, there's a sense of awareness, safety. He's got to make sure that the conditions are right around him. But it's still, the riding is second nature. That's why they use the term, it's like riding a bike, right? It's something easy to remember. So there's the skill of riding a bike becomes second nature. Now, riding a bike and teaching someone how to ride a bike are two different things. They're two different skill levels. And if you've ever had to teach anyone how to do anything, you understand what I'm talking about. Especially if you're a parent and you've ever had to teach your child how to ride a bike. It takes a certain set of skills to be able to do that. One being patience. Another being communication, and various other skills that are needed. And feel free to share with me in the comments. What are the skills that are needed to teach someone to do anything like riding a bike? As you type out any of those skills, or share with me, I want you to think of them as the same skills that are needed to lead a legacy. The same skills that are needed, not just to learn how to be unconscious competent. Oh, I can make money in my sleep. Oh, I know how to, I know what, how the markets work. I know how to invest. I know how to, like say, generate income, blah, 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 real estate, all these things. You're so great at it, right? Wonderful for you. However, do you have the skills that it takes to be able to teach the next generation how to preserve it, how to multiply it, how to grow it, and more importantly, how to grow from it as a person? Those are the skill levels that are absolutely needed in order to build multi-generational wealth. So let me pause here. The first and most important skill, patience. Absolutely, Joanne. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for posting that. Absolutely, patience or free. Yes, freedom equals. I know, Mark. You're riding a bike. I absolutely love it. Um, Joanne, balance, momentum, energy, ability to multitask. Yes. Okay, see, all of these momentum, energies for especially for cycling, for teaching someone how to ride a bike. But again, as you see, you have to know how to ride your bike, then teach someone else to do the same. Exactly. And I love, again, as you put, Jay, balance, momentum, energy, ability to multitask. Again, I challenge you, all of you, to look at that. Do you see what, how each of these also apply to legacy leadership? Confidence, yes, yes indeed. They apply to legacy leadership because you need to know how to balance. So much balance is needed in life. Balance the making money, but yet making sure that others are experiencing your existence in the way that you want them to. So you can't spend too much time just making money, being obsessed, or, just, again, really focusing your time in one area without making sure there's a balance there. The momentum, capitalizing on momentum as you're progressing, as you're learning, as you're growing and building on that momentum. Energy, the energy that comes as you are in the momentum, as you are moving, as you are learning and growing, and how to pass that on, the ability to multitask, that speaks for itself. Those are all the same skills that we don't just need to know for ourselves, but know how to translate in a way where others can pick it up and others can learn. And it's so clearly, it's important to have that communication. And again, whether it's our family, those who will be responsible for carrying on our wishes when we're not here, but even still when we're here, as we're leading the legacy, whether it's our children, whether it's our nephew and nieces, whether it's our mentees, all of these people are the people that we are currently leading through our legacy. So being an unconscious competent, that mastery level is not enough. You must be conscious about your unconscious competence. The level of consciousness is tied to your intentionality. Being intentional about the skills. And I'm going to talk about this in another, this might be a two-part series. So next week, I think I really want to go into actually the difference between generational wealth and multi-generational wealth. Mindset. The cultivating the culture for wealth and cultivating the culture for multi-generational wealth. So those are really the keys to this conversation today, that I want you to really understand that unconscious competent mastery is great. It will get you far. It will help you achieve your desires, where you want to be, where you may want to be able, put you in a position where you can provide for your family. That's wonderful. But as a legacy builder who feels the connection, who feels the calling as a good man and woman, leaves an inheritance for their children's children, an inheritance that will not ruin them, but elevate them and elevate their children and elevate your lineage, then it is important that we understand the conscious level that is needed in order to communicate the mastery skills that you've developed, in order for it to be carried on from generation to generation. So it's not just the financial assets that you are passing on, but the intellectual assets that will powerfully elevate your legacy for generations to come. So Let me know if you get it, if it makes sense to you. Give me some thumbs up in the comments. You know I'm never here long, so let me know your thoughts. If this makes sense to you, feel free to share. Feel free to share. What is the mastery level that you have developed? Maybe you are an unconscious competent in a particular skill level. What is it that you are now conscious of and want to develop the skills, the communication skills, and all the skills that are actually needed to pass it on from generation to generation? Share, shout yourself out. You've got the skills. Don't be ashamed to brag. Go ahead and brag about it. Say what you got, and then we can help you accountable to pass it on from generation to generation, because I'm definitely going to cheer you on, because your kids, your children's children, your children's children's children need your intellectual assets to help them to develop theirs. All right, so have a wonderful, wonderful day. Be blessed and continue to live and lead your legacy. I'll see you next time. Bye.